Happy Thursday. I hope you are well. Whether you are tuning into this live or you are listening to the recording, welcome to another episode of the Happiness is Real morning show. I'm your host, Camilla Calberg. I'm the founder of Calberg Coaching, and I'm a transformational coach. And in my company, in my team, we help you as the executive create a better life before, during, and after divorce. And remember, it is possible to tap into happiness even though you are stuck in a bad family environment, or you didn't divorce and you don't know how to move forward, right? It is possible to create another and a better life. It's waiting for you. So I'm so happy to welcome you to this very important session today, or episode today. And let's dive into to today's episode about the signs that your child needs help. The reason why I bring this up is that I have several conversations these days, and there is one thing that we tend to forget, and it's whether we are a parent or whether we are. Sorry, I'm just getting the mic up, or whether we actually a teacher, and that is that we tend to judge what we see, but we don't analyze. And I know analyze is a bit. Sorry, I can't get this to work. Analyze is I know is very corporate, but just tend to look at the surface and not really wanting to understand or daring to understand what is. So we judge instead of analyzing why our children actually behave as they do. And that's the reason why I bring this up today, because I've been there myself, right? I didn't understand. And I also took some advices, a piece of advice that really didn't work. So I learned it the hard way. I'm here to share 5 signs that will help you move forward much faster than I did. Okay, the first sign, and be ready to maybe take some notes if this resonates with your situation. The first sign that your child may be in need for help for healing the traumatic experience of a high conflict family breakup or a very bad family environment is that it has weird or strange sleeping patterns. And often the child needs additional comfort, additional love and care. And so it's difficult for the child to find peace in his or her own bed. For years, my daughter, and it's just like this week for me, is this week has been a breakthrough on various components I'm going to share with you today. But for years, my daughter slept with me, um, or I slept in her bed. But really being on her own, she didn't enjoy that at all. She couldn't fall asleep. And it came from a very early age. So that is one reason, or that is the but that is one sign that your child needs help. If the child is so dependent on you, you're the mommy or you're the dad, you're the primary source for unconditional love and care, then where does the child go when it's go to bed and digest the child has learned today? It's to the comfort zone, and you are the comfort zone. Sometimes, yes, it can be very tough when you want your own me time. I call it me time. And I also have clients that I want my partner, my new lover, blah blah blah. Um, that's fine. Then you find out how to navigate that space. But what I know to be true is that your child needs you, right? Your child needs you. All right. So that was one sign. The other sign is that the child tries to control you. Um, it may and control is a very powerful word. It can be very negative word, often with controlling. But the way I want to shift this is actually that it needs to know the child, your boy or your daughter, your girl, your girl. Let's say that your girl wants to know where you are. You may feel it's controlling. You can't go down to the car and pick something up in the car without the child getting like a nerve wreck. What's going on? And really very worried, very anxious. Um, that is indeed another sign that your child needs some help, because there's something not right in that setting, that the detachment in that moment cannot happen. I experienced that for years. This attachment, and even this morning is very interesting. I'm going to talk about this, and we, my daughter, she brings up the topic herself in the car, and she said for years she was so afraid about, so afraid from, I'm afraid for, I'm afraid. She feared her dad, that. The only place that she could turn to and she felt safe was with me. And so what did she do? She was just really running like a dog. She wanted to know where I was. She followed me in each and every room. She couldn't go to the bathroom herself. That is a sign, it can be a sign that your child hasn't healed the traumatic experience. And most likely, if you haven't healed and you don't have the tools, your child wouldn't be able to heal itself, because there's no tools. You haven't helped your child to heal. All right. And going down down that path, and this is so unfortunately typical and normal what I hear and have experienced myself. When your child cannot find inner peace, if it hasn't healed, and if you haven't healed, the child will misbehave in school, will become very aggressive, maybe very easy to tears, crying. And here's again, we judge. Oh, you're too weak, you're too aggressive, just behave. And we get angry. But really, when we start peeling the onion, how have you helped your child heal from that traumatic experience of breaking up a family? And then even if it's high conflict as well, if you haven't healed, how would you expect your child to express this his or her sadness otherwise than the aggressiveness? And like again this morning, and I had a various conversation on this with my daughter, is that she said, I got angry, mommy, and I got angry at school. And she said this morning, said, for a long time I didn't have any friends. Like, that makes a lot of sense, because when you're angry and when you're outgoing, it's you don't really connect with many people, right? But she said, and we had many talks about that. And then she said, but I start to change. And now, mommy, this week I have so many amazing new friends. So that is so important to share, because if your child do not do if your child misbehaves, what does misbehave mean? But is aggressive, easy to tease, something is wrong, something is wrong. And you get the opportunity to explore what is wrong and how you can help your child heal. Most likely you can't do it on your own. Be self-reliant, so you get the opportunity to ask for help, but make sure that your child gets the help he or she needs. Um, and the last one I want to highlight here is that your child doesn't want to go to school. And it is so I can't remember now what we call the word in English, but in Danish it's called skoleværing. Really do not enjoy school. And I had that challenge when the high conflict, we were not even divorced when we were going into the co-parenting project, and Whew, that was a very high conflict period. That was the time when I onboarded. I think what I did, the best investment ever in my life, was to get a amazing lawyer on board. Um, it was so high conflict, and there was so a lot of friction when the dad turned up. And he didn't make it any easier for my daughter to say, "Okay, daddy, I go with you." It was really verbally accusing me for who I was, right? All that stuff. How does that make you show up, or how does that affect your child? It makes him very uncomfortable, worried, anxious. And so when we then get to school, or when you get to school and you have to say, "See you later," do you think it's easy for your child to say, "Bye bye, mommy," or "Bye bye, daddy"? No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And so that gonna be a lot of conflicts there. Conflicts in terms of you want to go to work, and you want your daughter or son to go to school, but your child does not want to leave you. Here, this is a massive, I say, maybe one of the most important signs that your child needs help and you need help as well. And my experience, what I learned, and what my experience is, and what I heard from client cases is that we judge from the skin of the situation, and so does the teachers, because we don't have the skills, if you haven't been trained as a coach or therapist, to examine or observe what's really going on. And we had some very high conflict situations in the schoolyard. And at some point, I was asking Camilla, we cannot take your child. She simply did not want to go to school. And even this morning, she said, "Mommy, I can't." I was about to hate. I don't think she said hate, but said, "I really did not enjoy when the teachers just pulled me in my arm to go to school." That was a very high conflict situation, and we had many of those, like for about 6 weeks in a row. But that's where I stepped into my power and said, "Okay, now something has to change." And it was not how the school did it; it was actually that I took charge and I did it, let me say, my way. And I reached out to him. So I hope that these signs of like insomnia or bad sleeping patterns, how they go into school, the attachment, how attached they are, being overly aggressive or easy to tease, and really wants to control you, that was the 5 signs that helps you, okay, mm, um, create this awareness that your child needs help. And here, I want you to embrace that asking for help is not a weakness. It is not a weakness to ask for help. It's actually the opposite. By asking for help, you step into your power of greatness, your motherhood, or your fatherhood, your most amazing zone of creativity. And that is to ask for help so that you help your children heal. Um, Boom, that is so important. Unfortunately, and I think that's the situation when you're stuck, when you are a key actor in your own game and you don't get help. And I put it like before, like if you direct a movie, you cannot also be the key player. But when you are in your divorce project, you are the key player, and you can't also help your children. You have to heal first. And so asking for help is not an option if you want to thrive. Asking for help is a requirement. And I speak with so many lovely men and women now who also say, my executive career is falling apart. It is so, what I say, it makes so much sense. I can hear the language you use. I can hear how you show up. I hear how I've a very quickly sense how you want to control everything, how you don't trust people. This is an amazing opportunity for you to step into your power to create a better and become a better version of and better person of who you are today. And I promise it will happen as long as you surrender and you want to heal. It's about one thing, it's about commitment. So, all right. So with this, let's end this episode. Uh, Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you are here live on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. I so appreciate that we are connecting and so appreciate all the conversations we have offline, as well as the comments that you share. And it just really makes my heart sing that I help so many people create a better life, because it is possible to create a better life. So, and remember that happiness is real wherever you go on your divorce journey. Wherever you go on your divorce journey, and you found any value in what I shared, take a moment and drop a comment, and take a moment to do a screenshot of this episode on your favorite platform, or your favorite social platform, so that you help your friends and your loved one thrive through major life transitions. And again, remember, happiness is real, is so important. And wherever you're on your divorce journey, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and your next chapter of your life, I want to emphasize, it's going to be much better than you have ever expected. And it's my honor to be on your journey and help you create your most amazing life. And with this, if you haven't yet booked it, go and book your discovery conversation or your divorce consultation. 20 minutes for free. Let's jump on the call and find out how to create a better and a more abundant life for you and your children. With this, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Be connected again tomorrow, and enjoy this beautiful first day. Bye for now.